All right, it's time for that moment when TPOT 19 official release review. Yeah, it's finally time, and I have some things to say. Um, okay, full disclosure, this episode has gone down for me, and it does not have a lot. Maybe it's things that have always been in it, but I think also part of it is there's only so much, we could hear in the leaked version, and there were some changes, some of which I don't like. Um, One of which I do, at least one, but let's discuss it. So, first of all, seeing this episode in full HD and everything was great. I'm very happy to have finally been able to see it, especially with some certain parts that just were already very good and are definitely better now that I have actual audio and visual. But also this is a great thumbnail. um, but yeah, I have to discuss this. I've talked about this. I've touted it at one point being my favorite BFDI episode ever. It might still be that, but there are some issues I immediately have with either just this release of it or it in general that is more apparent now that there aren't children screaming behind the audio. Um, for one, we said, oh, they're updating the intro. Now, for some reason, I thought that this meant, oh, maybe they'll do a darker tone because it's a darker episode, like a much darker episode. This has the darkest ending and some of the darkest content in the entire show. Pretty unanimously agreed upon. No, what it meant was they were going to update the frame rate by making it faster and adding some more expressions. Now, the latter part I really like. I really don't like how this looks now. It looks borderline AI generated. It looks gross, and I don't know if it's because I'm so used to the original intro or because they did use AI or that just for some reason them upping it made it look weird. I really hate how the intro looks. It's not all bad. I do love seeing all the new expressions and things they do. It is very cute, but ugh, the frame rate is horrifying. I don't like it at all. It's straight up like uncanny and kind of nauseating. I can't explain. It's so much worse than I thought. So I'm sad about that. I'm glad I knew going in that there'd be a difference, but yuck. There are some voice lines and things I don't love. There's a couple of little ones with I mean there's a couple little ones, but the biggest thing I really don't like that I'm shocked they even did is that the Force, which is a thing I already dislike, now does a like helicopter cutting version of the Force scream. It's very annoying. I hate it. That's those two things are like the most negative things I've noticed in this release. Um, there were a couple points where I, on first rewatch, was like, or like first watch of this version, was like, I don't really like the music choices here. I think it's like these feel like much more severe scenes. Shouldn't they do goofier stuff? And on rewatches, I'm like, you know what? This is before stuff really goes crazy. Yeah, so I don't dislike it with the music choices. So sorry I had to cut for a second. But yeah, I definitely think that of anything, I mean, like there are a couple live VA moments that aren't great. There are a couple that are really good. I love the lie laugh after she uses Gil's marker. Um, I love being able to fully hear the fight scene music. It was really good. Um, for Lie's fight scene, Lie in general has just improved a lot for me. I still don't love her VA 100% of the time, but it's definitely more consistent. And I'm glad she seems to be improving. So that's cool, or at least has some really good moments. Um, Yeah, I'm trying to think if there are any individual parts. TB has a couple cute moments. I don't love TB, but especially in this season, but like I still like the golf ball, tennis ball scene at the start, and I don't know if I didn't notice it before, but like when Tree comes in and there's like the wrecked kitchen, he's like sneaking, like tiptoeing out. That's really funny. Um, so he has a couple moments I like. I also think, from what I understand, and I may be wrong, they made it so that TB is eliminated, not eliminated. He's out of the challenge as soon as he quits, which I think was not the case before. I think he got fourth before, and now he gets like really he eliminated really early, like 12th. Again, I'm saying eliminated because I keep seeing comments of people saying, "Oh, this is the elimination order." I have no, there's no way for so many reasons that they would do it. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I do think that the main thing that I'm thinking here is just wow, some of these visuals are fantastic. I love the way that the backgrounds look with like the goop almost. It's I mean, I'm a massive World of Goo fan. I'm a massive just like black and white fan, and so very dark but also detailed backgrounds, and like with the way that the dying trees look with the little spirals. It's really good. It's not like the best thing I've ever seen, but I love it a lot. So it's very nice to see those things just fully. I'm probably not going to watch this episode that much more, I think, because I've just seen it so much, and now that I'm like have it, I I I was thinking about it. Like I now understand the feeling of people who get like the music leaks of stuff, and then get disappointed by the final version, because I'm having little things that I definitely are building up to a point where it's like, do I like BFDIA 13 or 14 more? Probably not, but I don't know. It's definitely in contention. I would say this is very easily in contention for my favorite episode. I think easily has my favorite ending, and there's a lot of reasons for that. I think it balances a lot of things. I do think it is odd, not bad, but odd that they did not have a song for the winner and loser reuniting thing. It's just sound. Um, and I think honestly that's a big thing because I've talked about it a lot. Like, music can ruin a scene, and sometimes it's better if it's just silent, especially when it's a serious scene. And I love that they do that towards the end, and especially with the voting screen, it's like, oh, like comparing this to Teapot 15 is again one of the big reasons I just like this episode more by a lot. Is that it's yes, there's severity and stuff, but it feels like the stakes are more, I don't know, especially because one's kind of reasoning is a lot more clear, and like they're a lot more obviously evil, and I don't mean evil like traditionally evil. I mean like they get rid of, like, Donut was already like accepting defeat, and then one like perma kills basketball. Like there's so many things that just I think are done really well in here. I don't know. There are a lot of like little cute details I noticed. Like Rocky has a goofy little face when he's in like the crowd of the teapot eliminated contestants, and I mean like the ones behind the door. Actually, that's not specific. I mean, not the group, not the like group with Needle and Barf Bag. Well, not Barf Bag anymore. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, we have so confirmed permakill of Gady. Now two more permakills. One said that they can bring them back. I also like that specifically. I know one mentions Leafy, and I like had noticed that a couple, viewings in, but I didn't realize it was that, like, it was like to give her credit, she was more annoying, and I I'm so excited to hopefully see that scene. It'd be cool if we don't, but I would like to. Like, I wouldn't mind it if they don't show it, especially like I'd rather them not show it than it be bad. But I mean, come on, Leafy's like my favorite character in the entire show, so and has been for so long that I'm like having this interact with a villain that I now actually like is very cool. I love evil bouncing off of evil because I like Leafy because she's like charismatic but also like a bad person in a lot of ways, and so like, or at least she's very I don't know. I like her a lot. And I like one a lot now, too. So, yeah, definitely not of equal amounts, but one has shot up the rankings for me by a fair margin, and I have discussed that. Um, the ending is still great. With some of the ways that it looks with pencil and the lighting of the power and the some of the framing and fully getting the audio quality and just one being completely just like you can't fix it, but I can, but in the most like positive tone. Like they don't have any like their level of emotional intelligence is like kind of skewed. It's so interesting. I really like it a lot more than I thought I would. I think the only funny thing is that the one of the characters who's the reject, the drum, it clearly has the same VA, and she did not try a different voice, so that's funny. Um, maybe it should have made that Carrie, but you know what? At least they're branching out on more VAs, so that's cool. To do multiple, so maybe because it's like Sondering Emily, we'll maybe do some other VA stuff, so that'd be cool. I wouldn't mind that. I do think we are getting probably BFDIA this week, and I think it's probably going to be on the earlier side, because yeah, I mean we're getting the premieres of the new BFDIA 21, 20. No, we're getting 22 getting live shown soon. So 21, it's got to be pretty soon, maybe tomorrow or in a couple days. I'd be shocked if they have the live thing first. I guess it's not really needed in order, but I don't know. Either way, that moment when, um, yeah, I think I'm very excited for this episode. For more BFDIA, more excited for. Wow, I can't talk. I'm really excited for TPOT 20. I do not at all think the show is done. We have the wireless recovery center. We have Winner who's near it. We have like yes, some of the contestants are in places where they're not going to function, but hey, basketball has been missing and they still did the competition. That's not like a death sentence to the show at all. Um, and also, most importantly of all, if BFDIA has taught me anything, and even BFB, they want to end the shows on a nice number. They're not ending on 19. They would not do that. There's no way. They had every ability to make another goofball episode and write something certain ways. They easily could have pushed this out. It did not have to be in Final 15. It did not have to be in Teapot 19. They could have even done yet another whatchamacallit episode. Like there are like a non-competition. They have so many means to extend the episode count, and BFDIA I think is the most obvious example where I think they want it to be 25 episodes, just because it'll match the original season in episode count, and it because if we didn't have the non-competitions, especially as many as we do, it just wouldn't be enough, right? Like we're gonna have two non-competition. I guess also the fact that like BFDIA 19 and 20 is like 2 episodes, but like why isn't it 19A and B? Whatever. Because we already did that, and so there's consistency issues. Main thing is they clearly want it to be a nice round number, or not even round numbers, a nice like multiple of 5, or even just some good number. And so I have full faith they would not end on a 19. That would be shocking for so many reasons. I like at minimum they would do one more. I think Teapot 20 is like at least a number to end on, but I think they would do a lot more than that. I doubt that they're just like, hey, Final 15, let's just do whatever. Like there's all the means in the world for them to be like, hey, let's find 3 and 4, and then they'll get out, and then they'll escape, and then they will make a combat thing to fight 1. It's like it's very streamlined, maybe a little boring, but I have full faith it'll happen. Carrie and Michael are aware they want to have a Cobb's moment, and I think it could be better if they don't mess it up, because uh, Cobbs was kind of dumb, like really not great. Anyway, you know that moment when yeah, I did like this, but it's not as good as I was hoping, and I guess now I'm just waiting for 2 more BFDIA episodes because that is what I do.